Hello YouTube viewers. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Google Earth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with showing you a few basic functions that Google Earth has, and then more importantly I'm going to talk about the advanced functions that Google Earth has to offer. So before we begin, I'm just going to show you how you would go about downloading Google Earth. So what I did was I went to Google and typed in Google Earth download in the search engine, and then a bunch of options are going to pop up. So you can just click the first option. It says download Google Earth, and that'll take you to this page. And then on the bottom, it'll say agree and download. So you're just going to click that, and then that would bring this to your downloads. From there, you would go to your downloads, which I'm not going to do because I already have it downloaded, but you would just go to the bottom. It would probably show up around here, and then you can open it from there and install it to your computer. And then once it's installed to your computer, you could open it up, and then this is what it would look like. So first, I'm just going to go through a few basic functions that it has. So before I start, I'm going to shut off everything. So then this would be the blank Earth template. So what you can do is you can click on here on the left hand sidebar. You can click borders and labels. And what that would do is it would label the countries and the different regions on the world. And if you click places, then that would simply show you the different places. So you can see here obviously that that's Canada. Then you can also click roads. So if you were to zoom in further, it would actually show you the specific roads in each region. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to unclick all of them. Then you can click 3D buildings. So once you click 3D buildings, that would just make the buildings in the place elevated, so it would make it easier to see. And I will show you an example of that. So if I wanted to type in a place, so if I typed in North Bay, Ontario, then it would fly me to North Bay, so it would fly me right to that destination. So if I click search, alright, so here's North Bay. So if I zoom in, and once it focuses, it will allow you to see all the buildings elevated. So that's what 3D buildings means. Now, if I exit North Bay, another function it has is you can look at the oceans. So if you type on ocean, it'll allow you to explore the ocean. So there's a bunch of different options that it has here. So I'll just pick a few that I think are pretty cool to go through. So if you click on shipwrecks, it'll bring you to shipwrecks around the world. So for example, if I click on here's, it'll tell you that it's U215, so that's a shipwreck. It'll give you some information on it, so it'll tell you the date it was sunk, where it sunk. So you can go around and you can explore the different shipwrecks that are around the world. And when you click shipwrecks, there's a little button here in the left-hand corner. So if you click up tour guide, it'll allow you to click on these and search them. And that'll bring you right towards it. Another cool thing is you could actually look at animal tracking. So if you click animal tracking, so animal tracking will bring you here, and then you can click on the different animals. So for example, right here, it'll say 4009. So then you click on it, and it says it's a white shark. So it gives you information about the shark. So in this case, it's a white shark, it's a female, it's 400 centimeters. And then you can look up animal facts of the shark. And if you were really interested in how they went about tagging the animal, it'll give you the tagging facts as well. So that way you have an idea of how it works. And you can click on anyone that you can find. So this is another one. So that is pretty cool. Another neat function of Google Earth is you can actually click on the weather. So if I click on the weather and I click on clouds, it'll show me all the cloud patterns in the sky. So this would be a great tool if you're learning about geography or anything like that. I really want to move on to the advanced functions, which is the main focus of this tutorial. So first of all, the advanced functions are all in the top bar here. So I'm just going to start to go through them. So the first one, right here, this icon just simply hides the sidebar on the left, so then it'll make the screen bigger, but I'm going to leave it up just for the purpose of this tutorial. The second button right here, it allows you to, well, it's called the place marker button. So it'll allow you to mark any place on the map or on Earth. So for example, if I'm gonna place mark where I was born, so that would be North Bay. So I would type North Bay into the search engine, and that'll fly me to North Bay. So now we're in North Bay. So if I click the place marker, I can click anywhere, move that place marker anywhere. So I could pick a very specific place in North Bay or just a general area. So if I just place the marker here, then I can label it. So I'm going to write hometown. And then once I'm saving it, I could change the style, the color of it, the view of it, or the altitude. But I'm just going to leave at the basic settings for this. So that's a cool option, and you can place mark anything. So you can place mark places that you've traveled, historical places, really anything you want. And then from there, you'll see on the side, right here, places that you marked, it'll say hometown. And if you ever wanted to go in and move it, because once it's placed you can't move it, all you do is you right click either on here to get info or on the place marker itself. And this will allow you to edit. So again, I could move it if I wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it right there. The next button that we have is called the polygon button. So if I click add polygons, if I click on it, then what you do is you would click one place on the map, then you could click another place, and then another place, and you keep on doing that until you get a polygon that you would want. So you can do that, and then what you would do, so say I wanted this area, so you could add the description of the polygon, and this could represent an area on the map that you can label. So if I were to label this, I could say that this would be the township of North Bay. And if I wanted to, I could fill and outline it in a different color. So I could choose, let's go with red. So then it would outline it with red. And then if I labeled it, then it would allow me to do that. The next function I'm going to show you, so I'd press OK, is a path. So again, similar to the polygons, you would mark different areas on the graph. So if I went from here to there, to there, and then I could select a color. So I'm going to color this one pink. Again, it would show up here. So you can use this path to mark anything. So for example, in North Bay, I could use this to mark the Cape Paceway. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but it's a pretty famous bike path here. And then I could just, it could show the path that it would be. So you can do anything for that. You can mark places that you've traveled or how you got somewhere. And again, all of these would show up on the side. The next feature, which is also really cool, is it's called Image Overlay. So you would click on it, and what you can do is you can browse into your documents and add a picture. So if I went into my documents and I found the North Bay sign and I opened it, so this would be the North Bay sign. I could crop the picture to make it as small or big as I want, and if I grab it in the middle, then it allows me to move it. So then once you move it to the area that you want, you could label it. So North Bay sign, and then you click OK, and then you'll see it on the map. So once it's stuck in place, like I said, you can't move it unless you right click on it, get info, and then I can move it from there. Now the next button is a record a tour button. This is a really cool advanced feature of Google Earth, and what you can do is you can actually click on it. I'm not going to make one right now, but then you can actually record yourself on a tour. So it'll have your voice recording, and you can do some fun things with it to make a video, and then you could watch that video after. Another cool function that Google Earth has is this icon up here. It's called the historical imagery button. So what you can do is you can click on the button, and in the top left hand corner it'll give you a timeline, and on it it has different horizontal lines that you can click on to see a historical image in that particular area. So if I wanted to look up the World Trade Center in New York, I would search it, and it would actually fly me to New York. And then from there, what I can do is so this is right now in 2017, so I can go back to, say, 2001, right after 9/11 occurred, and you can see that the buildings are actually gone. Then if I scroll back even further, so if I went to 1997, you can see that the World Trade Centers are still there. And you can go back as far as it'll let you. So in this case, in this particular area, it'll let me go back as far as to 1978. So that is definitely a cool function that would be useful for, studying history or anything like that.
We're going to head out to the sky and take a look at Google Sky. So this is a great tool for teaching that you can use to teach students about constellations, galaxies, or even different planets. Within this feature, you can also use the search bar to search up different things. So for example, if I was talking about constellations with my students, I could look up the Big Dipper, type it in, hit search, and Google will bring me to the constellation. So you can see it outlined here with the blue dots that outline the constellation. That is the Big Dipper. With this feature, you can also switch to the moon or Mars. So you're going to go back up to that icon at the top, and we're going to check out Mars first. So once you click it, it brings you to Mars, and it'll zoom in, and then yourself, you can zoom in more or you can zoom out, and it'll provide different photographs of the best that we have right now. If you click on different landmarks, it'll bring up a little bit of information on each. It'll provide you with the observation ID. The image is of an eastern half of a fresh crater, the location, and when it was acquired. Another feature again is click that Saturn and go back to the moon, and it will open up. And within the moon itself, there's a bunch of different landing sites and launch sites. So you can take a look at here. Once again, if you click on one of the sites, it'll open up an information portal. It'll provide you with information about what happened at the site, You can click other ones, and they all provide you with images and further information about what happened within that specific location on Earth. We're now going to head back to Earth and look at another tool that is offered. So once we're back at Earth, we're looking at Canada right now. We're going to look at the measurement tool. So how we do this is we're going to go back up to the top along this top, and we're going to look for the ruler icon. Once you click it, it opens up a secondary window. You're just going to move this off to the side so you have room to work. So what this tool allows us to do is you can literally measure anything you want on Earth. So if we wanted to figure out the measurement from the west coast all the way to the east coast, you click once, you drag your mouse across and put it to where you want it to go, and then you'll just click again. This then creates a solid line that kind of curves with the Earth. Once you come back up to your information window, it tells you the map length, the ground length, and the heading. You can also change what you want your units to be in. So for instance, if I want kilometers, you're just going to click the drop down menu and you can change it to kilometers. So in this instance, from the west to the east coast, the ground length is 5,194.49 kilometers. If you wanted to see what it is in inches, you just go back to that menu and you find inches and you would click it. You can save the data if you want. You can also map the length of a path, and you can change what you want your units to be for that as well.